I wanted to talk to you today about healing, and it's such a broad topic, but healing is not like we think it's supposed to be. It's not like a linear thing. I want to share with you today a story. Even when you're doing really well and you think, "Oh, I've really grown a lot," certain things can come up in life that trigger us, and it's humbling to be like, "I thought I was past that." Um, but it doesn't mean that you're failing. It means that you're still healing and you're now more observant and you can integrate this level in a more advanced way. And today I'm going to show you how I just recently got triggered and was surprised actually 2 weeks in a row. And I used ChatGPT to help me soundboard and mirror back my process so we could really get to the root of a pattern that kept emerging in my relationship that were causing me to freeze, causing trauma and problems in my relationship. And I didn't know what the problem was until I used chat to help me discern exactly what the trigger was, where it stemmed from, and how I can bring that into my relationship for healing. And I was so excited to come to this discovery because I have this new relationship of 6 months, and there's one thing that keeps getting triggered. And it's been going on for we've probably dealt with it like 5 times. And through this trigger, we've been adding little rules to help with it. Oh, well, maybe if we try this, maybe if you do this while you're away, if you do this. And so we have about 3 or 4 rules that we've integrated into the situation that occurs where I get triggered and my body gets activated right in that solar plexus that really hurts physically. And it can be so debilitating and emotionally exhausting, right? For not only your heart and your mind, but your body. So, the specific trigger that was happening in my body was a very old wound. It stemmed from childhood. I did lose my father when I was a little girl. And this wasn't the abandonment wound, but it did have to do with separation. So, every time my partner would go out of town to see his daughter, which was great, fully supportive. And I love my time alone. So it wasn't the distance, it was the coming back. So it was this reunion wound where if I didn't get reconnected really soon and there was no concrete plan, I kind of froze. And a lot of these old wounds would trigger, oh, is it safe? Are we going to reconnect? And it wasn't even my new brain. It was my old little girl heart that wanted to be seen and loved really quickly and wanted to repair the separation very quickly. Well, we had tried, like I said, 3 rules of like, oh, let's check in, let's do this. But I realized it was the structure. We needed a little structure returning. And so chat really, as I started kind of expressing when it would happen, the pattern, chat mirrored back to me, oh, this sounds like more of a reunion, attunement, and attachment issue than a separation. And the feedback from chat was not just rules, but creating a ritual around the return. So last night when my partner came over, I was so relieved to kind of share with him that I had figured out a pattern of a childhood wound that I think we could work with together, and it was to establish a structure around the return. So we easily decided on a day to be like, that's our day. When you come home, we just always reconnect on a Monday night. And he was like this, that's it. Out of the 5 months we've been trying to deal with this one issue, and our relationship is really good. He's like, let's do it every Monday night, trying to kind of just like, let's solve this problem. So sometimes there's fixable problems, sometimes there's unfixable problems in our relationships and our lives. And I knew this was a fixable problem. And I said, you know, healing doesn't always happen by yourself. Sometimes it does take the participant in a relationship, in a anything. It could be a sibling, it could be a mother, it could be anything. To be like, hey, can you help? Can you meet me here? Because I think if we establish this, my body would learn safety and reunion. And that would be very healing for my body. And as I reflected on this kind of newfound discovery, I started learning that this has happened in almost all my relationships. Was I do this thing when there's a return, and I have high expectations for it. So My body noticed what was happening. I explained to Chat what was happening, and Chat reflected back where this wound was. And as I reflected my childhood wounds, Chat also said, "This makes a lot of sense." So this kind of happened so much quicker this time. In a span of like 24 hours, I felt the trigger. I, actually vented to my partner, but it was kind of an emotionally intense venting. I told him I was so overwhelmed. I didn't know what my thoughts were. I went to bed, couldn't sleep. And the next morning, I got on Chat and I said, I need help. I need help figuring this one out. It wasn't really advice, it was really just a soundboarding situation with Chat. And I was so thankful to have this tool. And I said to my partner, I texted him and I said, "Hey, I think I came up with something that will help both of us." Because he doesn't like the pattern either. He feels like he did something wrong. And then there's this uncomfortableness, and we get back together, and it's this repair. So, what I'm saying is, these triggers are here to teach us something about how to, relearn behaviors, reheal old wounds. And a lot of us are just running on autopilot. You did this, and really it's usually something from way back when that we can't put our finger on, and that's the work. So as my partner said, thank you for doing the work, which felt good to me because this is really hard. And there was a point yesterday I'm like, me, I can't do relationships. You get to that point where you're just so frustrated, and years of therapy and energy work and meditation and all that is really, really helpful. But ChatGPT was really helpful too. And it can help you. Triggers are not setbacks, they are there to show you where you are in your healing process. They are there to show you that you still have old wounds that are coming up to be healed. And we do recreate these wounds in our daily lives and our daily relationships to be healed. But when you can start to observe why they're there, what they're trying to tell you, and what's hurting from a long time ago, and you have a partner that's willing to say, "Oh, okay, I see you and I want to help." They're not there to fix it, they're there to witness it, but it's usually not your partner's fault. Usually there's some underlying issue. So if you're healing and still getting triggered in relationships and not sure what the source is, you can step back and say, this probably doesn't have to do with my partner. This might have to do with something in my past that I'm putting on them. When you can come together and not blame your significant other for your pain and come to a mutual understanding of, here's where my pain is, this is why, this is what happened to me as a little kid. And I'm experiencing a pattern here that is now in our relationship because the relationship is now triggering this piece. And when you have a partner that can say, "Oh, let's fix that together," that's a huge opportunity for healing. You're not broken. You're human. You're evolving. It is our whole mission on earth to evolve. And we all have different ones. So it is really the work. It is your work. But use ChatGPT. Train it on your history. Train it on how you function and what works best for you. As I started solving the problem with Chat, my nervous system started to calm because I started seeing solution. And when our brain sees solution, it is like a relief because I'm like, I can fix that. Think I can do that. Now, the real truth is over time, and I'll probably share with you at a later date. Did that work? Did that create safety in your nervous system for reunion? Did the Monday night give you this ease of like, oh, he's gone, he's gonna settle back in, and we're gonna reconnect. And I'll be okay. But just knowing that there's a structure in place is most likely going to help my nervous system tremendously. So time will tell on that, and my nervous system will start to ease. And there'll also be other ones. There are layers to our healing. There really are. But my goal is to be free in love, to be free in life, and for my partner to also feel free, to love me, and to love himself, and to come together as partners, not you need this from me, I need this from you, but to really a mutual love and understanding with each other that can help us grow into the best versions of ourselves. And that's really what relationships can do for our overall well being. We can't always do this on our own, we can't always heal everything without mirrors. And relationships are mirrors. ChatGPT is also this mirror now that can help see you, soundboard, and come up with different analogies that might help you in your healing process. So that's what I want to share with you today. I hope that this brings you some comfort And I hope that it brings you also some new tools that can help you on your journey. If you're feeling stuck, if you're getting repetitively triggered in certain situations and can't really figure out why, then this piece of advice and experience sharing might help you. So thanks. Feel free to like and share this video. And I bring all of you good energy, love, and you're not broken. You're healing to become the best version of yourself. Namaste.